Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I am here with the last video of 2023, and we are going to take this sketch which I designed, and that is available for download on my blog, and we're going to use it two ways. One in the kind of intended seasonal way, and one we're going to mix it up a bit. And if you want more sketchy goodness, this is part of the Counterfeit Kit Challenge's December activities, where we have a whole bunch of sketches up on our site, so follow the links below. And for now, let's get started. All right, for this first one, I am going to go ahead and keep it pretty closely to the sketch. I do have larger photos than what's in the sketch. They are like 2¼ by 3 in the sketch, I believe, and I've got 3×4 photos. I am going to be using these branding strips that I save and cut off my larger 12×12 sheets of paper, and I save them for projects like this. And in fact, I have a whole video on techniques that you can do with these branding strips, and I will link you up to that if you want some fun ideas to save these bits that might otherwise be thrown away. All right, I did pull out a variety of pieces from there that I thought could work, mostly kind of teals and greens, but I did pull out some other colors just in case I wanted to kind of give that pop of color that ornaments give. I'll end up not going with that idea, but it was there in case I wanted to use it. I do have a little bit of wood grain here also, and I'm going to add a little tree trunk, which was not part of the sketch, but I think I missed that opportunity because my tree looks cute with a little tree trunk there. So I am going to glue all this down. Notice that I am just tearing off each end of the paper as I work my way up this triangle. It's kind of a staggered triangle of paper strips. And I am trying to mix up colors as I go so that I have some contrast between each of the layers so that you can kind of see the variety as we go. And here we are back with my finished tree. I will put a star on the top of that a little bit later. Now, as you can see with these bigger photos, they take up a lot more of the space of the tree. So if you're using smaller photos, you'll definitely get more of the pattern behind the photos of that tree. But I'm okay with this size of photos because you still get the shape of the tree and the general mood and feel of the design that I intended. So there we go. That's that. I did pull out another piece of lawn fawn paper from my scrap bin. This was about a half a sheet. And I realized that this piece has two different plaid patterns. One is a larger scale on one side, and it's kind of a horizontal and vertical typical plaid, and the other side is a diagonal plaid. So I'm going to use both of those sides. And I'm going to put a star on my tree. I don't have a lot of star dies, especially not in this size, although I did remember one after the fact. But I am using this scratch piece of paper from a party bag that has lots of lovely sparkle to it, and it's well sealed so it doesn't shed any glitter. And I'm going to upcycle this into a star for my tree. I'm enjoying using up little bits and pieces of that bag on various projects lately. So there you go. My tree star is done. I have got my title done, and I did make my little tags there a bit bigger than what I thought I would need, and that way I could use up the space that I need and then trim off the excess. I'm going to mount that little star on another piece of cardstock because it is a very flimsy paper bag, and that will allow me to pop it up on some foam dots so that I can get a little extra dimension. And my journaling is done. I did use up the whole tag because I tend to be pretty wordy when I get to my journaling. And then I decided, even though this background paper is kind of a sky blue color, it was feeling a little too stark. So I went ahead and pulled out a green ink pad, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of shading. And then with the excess ink that is laying on my mat there, I will also wet that down and give it just a few delicate spatters, and that will add some lovely texture to finish off this layout. Oh, I thought I was done, but I forgot about the bows. I have this little package of Pink Fresh Studio bows that have been sitting around for quite a while. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of these together. I don't need to bore you with that process of holding and gluing while I go, but I'm just going to pop a couple of these on here. Oh, and I forgot another step of embellishing that's coming. All right, I'm going to pop these little bows on here because they just add a little emphasis to kind of each area of the layout. And again, I chose some colors that kind of fit in with the colors that I chose both for my title and for my tree. And then the sketch also had kind of some enamel dots as decoration on the tree. I'm going to use some red sequins, and that furthers the red that I used in my title, so that that red isn't up there all and lonely by itself. And this actually finishes up a little bottle of sequins that I've had in my stash for a long time. So it's really nice to get some of those supplies to the end of them. All right, and with that, I am done with this first take on the layout, pretty close to the original sketch. Let's go ahead and take this sketch, and I am going to turn it sideways. Now, this is true of any sketch that you come across, but with this particular one, when you turn it sideways, instead of a tree, it now looks like an arrow, and we're going to use that to point to our large focal photo. Instead of having a star on the top of our tree, we'll have a large photo. Now, this pattern paper is a diagonal plaid back there. And that is going to help me create my triangle. However, if you don't have a plaid paper, you can just take a pencil and mark the center or wherever you want the point of your triangle to be, and kind of trace even edges on all around, or from the center point of your arrow to the edge of your paper. All right, I think I got that now. I am going to do this with washi tape instead of pattern paper strips. So if you've got an abundant supply of this item in your stash, this is a great use for getting some of that stuff used up. And maybe you can finish off a roll like I finished off my sequins. Now let's see. Oh, I was going to say that both of these layouts that I'm doing are seasonal layouts, but this rotation and orientation of the sketch creates an arrow, and that arrow can be used for anything. You could do this with sports layouts or birthday layouts or anything. It doesn't have to be, my photo here is a wintry seasonal photo. So this orientation of the sketch is fantastic for lots and lots and lots of stories. All right, I am not going to make you watch me do all of the washi tape here, but here is a little tip. If you have some washi tape that is less than stellar in the tacky department, just go ahead and add a squirt of glue as you are working. All right, as I near the end of this piece, you can see that I've used lots of different colors in here. I even have some mixed metallics. I have some iridescent metallic and some gold metallic. Because my photo is pretty mild manner in terms of its color palette, that gives me a little more freedom to play with my washi tape colors. So keep that in mind, that depending on what photo you're using, that'll inform the colors that you choose for all of your little stripes. And this is a great way to use up leftovers, or like I'm doing here with the washi, kind of that neglected supply. Okay, I do want to erase that pencil line that I made to help define my triangle ahead of time. And I have pulled out a few extra bits and pieces that we're going to use to throw this layout together. I've got several pieces of pattern paper, and I'm going to mat that layer, triple mat my photo on those layers, and that is going to be quote unquote the star on my tree. I'm also going to add some snowflake embellishments that I'm going to create with some stamping and die cutting. And the snowflake actually kind of reminds me of the star on the tree as well. So that is kind of playing two roles here. Now I am going to outline my arrow triangle here with some stamping and some pearls, and that kind of, it reminds me of those lighted signs that kind of flash their lights as they point towards something. And so I'm kind of going for that effect with this arrow. And you'll see a little bit of a close-up of that later. I'm also creating a few extra embellishments to go around my photo in my typical groupings of 3. So here I am back with all of those bits and pieces done. I will go ahead and get that photo in place. There's nothing terribly complicated about this layout, so it is a great one to, if you don't have a lot of time, it's a great layout design for that. All right, and here is where I am adding in those little pearls. These are, I believe, some Pink Fresh Studio pearls, and they come in, I think, 4 sizes. I'm going to use 3 sizes, and I'm going to repeat 3 larger, 3 medium, and 3 smaller to emphasize that arrow. And that was a little bit of close-up. I'm adding some extra little shimmer and shine to my snowflakes, and then a couple more pearls on those. And that will finish up all of the embellishing. So I will just need to get my title and my journaling going on. And I am back with that. I did choose a colorful title because that photo is mild-mannered and all my washi tape has lovely colors in it. I tried to choose my letters to go with colors that were in the washi tape and kind of mix it up a little bit. I am going to add the date here. I'm trying to be very conscious of dating all my layouts these days because when I go to put them away, I'd like them to go in the right spot in my albums. And I have been not doing a great job of that. So it's this whole process of trying to get things put away. All right, and that finishes up layout number 2. So I hope you enjoy this sketch. I hope I've given you not only that seasonal way to use the sketch as intended, but another fun idea to go with this sketch. That is it for me for 2023. I will be back on January 1st with my normal video schedule. Until then, Happy New Year.